Okay. All right, I wanted to talk about Chris Bowen. So Chris Bowen is the Energy and Climate Change Minister. Um, I should just go skibbity now because, yeah, the brain rot that comes out of this guy's mouth. As you can see, he's a water element, and that water at the same time sits on an ox. So you can't, when we think of an ox works harder, but in human terms, it's totally different. Okay, but how can he keep effing up this country with his, spending billions on his schemes? He's a total dud. All right. So as you can see, there's 4 water elements, right? So it's just about himself. He has competitors everywhere, so nobody's actually going to agree with him on anything, all right? And he's in a time cycle that, yes, that earth harmonizes with the water element that he is, but not in this case because it's not favorable. So he's just talk. And the water, because there's so much water there, he's kind of like, he's going one way today and tomorrow he's going this way, and he's just going to keep doing this. He's like this dripping tap. So what's his name was water when I did yesterday, I think I did the Queensland, the new leader there. He sits on a goat and the goat will just go far and beyond and blah, 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 okay? This guy kind of like, no, the sun's not up yet. I won't get up till then, okay? Seriously. And he's in the peak of just money. So he's given money for all these schemes that he flip-flops on, but nothing has actually worked. And there's a thing that he called the most comprehensible, he's reducing, what he's trying to do, as he says, is reducing power prices by, this was part of the pre-election, reducing power prices by 275 by 2025, but we all know how high our electricity bills are. Yeah, his sidekick, or his sidekick, his elbow, or his elbow's sidekick, if you want to call it that way. What he wants to do is build a green hydrogen industry to supply the rest of the world. What about us here? So he came up with this idea like in July, and then seriously, what he doesn't tell you is that green gas is too expensive, and someone who is just cut 700 jobs, right? That's what somebody has cut 700 jobs. Andrew Forrest, he just cut because it can't be done, okay? Wait for it. You get some steak knives. And then when in February 2022, he, what was it called? The Kurri gas plant. He wanted that to run on hydrogen. 30% of that, then 50%, then 100%. The plant operators that he bullshitted about what he was going to do came out and said it was impossible. So they're using natural gas instead. All right. So he did this like over and over and over. He had this gathering to tell us, that they are welcoming a company called SunDrive to make the most efficient solar panel in the world, as, the Hunter Valley region, whatever. They just cut staff and they replaced their CEO a couple of months ago, all right? And they had that change of direction. They didn't want to make the solar panels. They just want to invent and transform, not manufacture panels. So what can I say? All right. And by the way, they got millions. Okay. Yes, of course there's more. So this is who you voted for. Just keep that in mind. This money, and then he says, this money we are announcing, this was back in August. So he effed up on that bit. Same month, he then announces they're going to support Ampol in rolling out 200 new charges by 2025. So Ampol replied, no, it's not possible to do that. 2 weeks later. So do you understand? So if you look at the elements, the 5 elements, he is the water element, but there's no metal, there's no thinking whatsoever. So this Doug Bowen now wants to, he wants the nuclear power stations to be banned for being too costly and taking too long to build. His words, okay. Now he's changed his mind. A couple of months ago, nuclear energy is slow to build. It will take 20 years. China came out in reply to that and said, we can build 11 for you in 5 years. Yeah, that sort of thing. And September last year, he actually said replacing coal-fired power stations with nuclear would cost 387 whatever billion. It actually costs 1.9 trillion. So where does he get his info? There is no brains there. That's brain rot, yes, as Payman calls it, skibbity. And the worst thing this is what he said, the worst thing for Australia is nuclear power, is nuclear energy. And the government are trying to ban it at the same time behind closed doors. And what's next? I reckon one of them will come out, or Albo will come out and tell us that his doctor said he's got signs of oil cancer. He did say that? Yep, the one in the US said that. And so do many of his friends. So what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for invisible friends, for them to talk to their invisible friends? You know, I don't know what to say. And in the words of Albo, Jody is a coastie, but you're a toastie. All right. So just keep that in mind, that this, you know, if I say it, they'll take it off. TWAT. All right. So this will just keep going. By the way, I know a lot of you think those things there, yep, work and whatever. You need to go and talk to some farmers that they get paid for them on their blocks, on their land, but they're not allowed to have animals underneath it or grow anything underneath it. And then when this breaks down, the farmer is liable for it because it broke down on his land. So there's a picture here, and all they are doing is piling them. Oh, the farmer's not allowed to get rid of it on his block. So, but this is how it's piling, okay? And that actually is destroying the earth. So again, just in case you didn't know. Yep, and thanks, Tash. Yeah, I know. And you did say he's a WANKER. Mate, he's bigger than that. Yeah, the word I want to say, I can't. I have one and he came through one. All right. Keep the questions coming.